Which job applicant would you most likely hire? This girl with unkempt hair and shabby clothes, or this well-groomed candidate in professional dress? What about who you would most likely vote for class president? The pretty blonde who is sexually appealing, or this unattractive outcast? So who did you choose? All pop culture references aside, you may have chosen the more professional candidate and the pretty blonde. Want to know how I knew that? The answer is simple: attractiveness bias. Attractiveness bias is the tendency to see attractive people as more intelligent, competent, moral, and sociable than unattractive people. Attractive people are preferred in hiring decisions and tend to make more money than unattractive people in the same job. Attractiveness bias is a function of biological and environmental factors. You know, that whole nature-nurture thing? Biologically, attractiveness is identified by those who exude health and fitness, fertility, and those who possess the preferred waist-to-hip ratio. Waist-to-hip ratio is the primary factor for determining attractiveness for men and women. It is calculated by dividing the circumference of the waist portion of the midsection by the circumference of the hips. The ideal waist-to-hip ratio for men is 0.9, and the ideal ratio for women is 0.7. Environmentally, women are attracted to wealth and power. Cue private jets and sports cars, lavish parties, and Prince William, future King of England. Attractive people are also noticed by babies. Studies show that babies 2 to 6 months old look longer at images of attractive people regardless of their gender, age, or race. Men too are influenced by environmental factors. For example, they are attracted to the exaggeration of socially acknowledged features of sexuality. So what does all of this mean? That this attractive mom of 2 is more competent at raising her children, or that these handsome businessmen can run an advertising firm? Well, that is our bias after all. But let's look at a classic example of attractiveness bias from the 1960 presidential election between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. Those that listened to the debate on the radio believed that Nixon would be the winner. However, when it came to watching the televised debate, it was apparent that Kennedy's appearance was superior to Nixon's. He wore dark colors and makeup, while Nixon appeared under the weather, wore light colors, and no makeup. Based on their appearances alone, viewers believed that Kennedy would be the winner. Just as this example shows us, attractiveness bias is a tool for attracting our audience. Professional communicators rely on this tendency without us even realizing it. Let's look at some examples of current ads. There's the forever handsome George Clooney. What woman wouldn't want to run out for some espresso coffee? And Sofia Vergara making Diet Pepsi a must-have for everyone. And I bet you didn't notice the waist-to-hip ratio before in Apple ads for the iPod, right? No matter where you look, attractiveness bias is influencing the way communicators sell products and services, and the way we as an audience interpret those messages.